guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to cover everything that you need to know about the Team Builder sets in NHL 22. So in this video, we're going to cover all of the Team Builder cards, which ones you should target first, and the best way to acquire them. Now guys, before we get into the video, I need to stress, Team Builder sets are what you should be chasing early on. And again, I'm going to explain it as we go through the cards, but the reasoning behind it is you can get some 90 overall cards that will last you quite a long time. The way EA has handled the last 2 years in terms of upgrades and cards, I would be willing to bet that these 90 overall cards at some point will have an upgrade, much like they did with Iginla and Taves at some point down the road. Everyone is really wrapped up in the X Factors, as they should be. They're phenomenal cards, but I think a lot of people are overlooking the Team Builder sets, and early on you can get a huge jump on your team and everyone else if you put a focus on Team Builder sets. All right guys, let's get into the video. All right, let's start with the basics, guys. Where can you find these sets and how do they work? So if you go to sets all the way over to Team Builders, here you will find the 4 divisional Team Builder sets. So you are going to trade in 8 different cards, 8 different 85 overalls, and you will get a choice pack of the Division 90 overalls for each division. These guys will become untradeable, so you need to take that into account. But again, the 90 overalls will have immense value on your team for quite some time, and as the game progresses, these cards are going to be more and more expensive. You have to understand this video is coming out during EA Play, and while it's happening during EA Play, I feel like a lot of people are overlooking the team builder aspect, and everyone that is playing pretty much spends money on the game. So once the full release comes out, you're going to have a ton, the majority of the player base that does not spend money on the game, all trying to vie for these cards, and it is going to be very, very difficult. So again, I will give you my best practices and the ones that you should target early on. So guys, how you acquire each of the team's team builder card, we will start. I'll just show you the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm almost completed it. So basically what you do is you have to finish these sets, and there isn't individual cards. As you see here, I've got 3 Connor Murphys. They will give you ranges, so 74 to 79. You'll also need some 80 to 83s, and it doesn't matter who they are. They just have to be Blackhawks players. Now, when you're putting these cards into the sets, 2 things that you need to remember. Make sure that there is no X Factors when you put them in. Get them out, and any base card that has an X Factor, you want to make sure you do not put into sets. So Leon Draisaitl here, for example. Obviously, I'm not going to use him towards the Edmonton Oilers team builder set, and I believe down here with the Vancouver Canucks, I also have Elias Pettersson. You don't want to use any of the cards that you can get for the team builders because it is just simply not worth it. Elias Pettersson, you can use this base card to get his last tier on his X Factor card, so that's going to have a lot of value, or B, you want to save them so when you do it yourself, you just save yourself some time. So remove those guys specifically, and then just keep putting these NHL players into these sets. All right, so now let's go through the 85 overall. So these are the cards that you're going to acquire once you trade in enough of the current NHL players and get that team's team builder set. Again, you need all 8 from that division to get the choice pack, and then we'll go over the 90 overalls that you want to chase, specifically early on in the game. That'll give you the biggest advantage, but I want to show you guys each of the team builder cards that you're going to be chasing. So we'll start first with the Pacific Division. All right, so first up, we've got the 85 Andy McDonald with Booming Shot here, which again isn't a bad synergy at all. Body checking, slap shot, power, and agility, but honestly, this is more of a defenseman synergy that I would target, not really one I'm super big on for offensemen, but nonetheless, not a bad synergy. Has the superstar ability of tape to tape, which with only 3 ability points isn't terrible either, and his speed isn't all that bad, especially at launch of the game. We've got 87 speed, acceleration, and agility, and his shot is all in the high 80s. This is a well-rounded card. The only thing I will say, body checking at 78, and he's only 5'11". He's going to be a liability in his own zone. But here is the Anaheim Ducks, Andy McDonald. From the Edmonton Oilers, we've got the 85 overall Steve Staios. He does have the buzzing synergy, and stick him up as his superstar ability. Speed with buzzing activated is 85 on right defense, and his acceleration is only 84. This is a little rough because he's only 6'1". If you're going to have speed in this kind of range, you want to be above 6'4", 6'5" even, just because you want to take advantage of the size here. 6'1" isn't bad by any means, but he's going to play really stiff with only 80 overall deking. His agility with buzzing activated isn't bad, but if you don't have that synergy activated, he's going to play really stiff, and he is much slower. So I think there's better cards out there, but nonetheless, you still have to get him if you want to get one of the Pacific Division team builders, but I'm just talking about early on cards to target if you have to use them in your lineup, which almost everyone will. From the LA Kings, we've got Eric Boulanger with Thief. as well as quick draw, which is a nice superstar ability. Again, the ability to effectively win every draw in your own zone is super beneficial. So just keep that in mind. Not bad at all. However, his endurance is only 77, and again, his speed down at 85, 86 and 87 on the acceleration and agility, and his shot isn't terrible, but nothing special here. So this one, again, probably isn't going to make your team over most X Factors and base cards. The Seattle Kraken have a team builder as well now, the 85 Connor Carrick with Booming Shot. Booming Shot, again, I really like for defensemen. With 87 speed, 87 acceleration, agility, not terrible. Again, slap shot accuracy at 79, but with Booming Shot gets up to 90 shot power, and he's got really good body checking. Only 5'11", but this is a pretty decent, well-rounded card that you could use if you are working towards the team builder sets that put right into your lineup. Send It isn't bad, but it's only 82 ability points to put on, so I do like this card. Well-rounded, in my opinion, and someone that you could use early on. All right, from the Vegas Golden Knights, we've got the 85 Nicholas Roy, 84 speed, acceleration, 85 agility, shot at the shot power a little bit higher in the high 80s, mid 80s for the accuracy, body checking at 88. Again, this is going to depend on your play style, but if you're someone who likes to control the play, I talk about this a lot, hold on to the puck, not really score off the rush if that isn't your thing. Like, if you dominate time on attack, this is the kind of card that would be really useful for you. He's got 90 balance, extremely difficult to knock off the puck, and as Big Rig, which I actually like, is superstar ability. So be on the lookout for this one. I think this is going to be useful for a lot of players, but if you're someone who can't really use the slower guys, probably a pass, not really make your team, but this one isn't bad at all. And lastly, from the Calgary Flames, we've got the 85 Matt Stajan with Thief, one of my favorite synergies early on, and off the rush, which is actually pretty sweet as well if you're taking slap shots while skating, if you're flying down the wing. However, at center, you're probably not going to be in that position an awful lot. However, speed at 86, acceleration 85, and agility 86 isn't going to kill you by any means. His shot is kind of underwhelming, but if you use him effectively and have off the rush activated, that could be nice. Defensively, he's pretty good with Thief activated, and in my opinion, it is one of the synergies you should look to activate early on. Defensive awareness, stick checking up in the mid-90s, face-offs at 89. Just a well-rounded card, and I think, again, someone that you could put in your lineup while you're working towards these 90 overall team builder cards. So once you hand in 8 of these team builder cards for each division, you are going to get a choice pack of one of 390 overall. So we're going to start first with the 90 overall Pacific Division cards, starting with the 90 Francois Beauchemin. A really good card. I mean, honestly, defensemen are going to be at a premium early on, and a lot of these team builder cards, especially on defense, have a combination of both, which is super valuable. So he comes with Protector, Magician that you can choose, Elite Edges, and then Send It. I probably wouldn't activate either of these. However, he does have 90 speed, acceleration, 93 agility with 90 body checking, and then a decent or a very good slap shot at 91 power, 87 accuracy. Again, slap shots more important for defensemen. So very, very well rounded, and a great choice if you are looking for a defenseman when doing the Pacific Division pack. Second choice for the Pacific Division team builder set is the 90 Ryan Kessler with Fly the Zone, which is a very, very good synergy as well. Has quick draw, so it really helps him out at center. And then Unstoppable Force, which again, I really like as well. 6'2", he's 89 speed, acceleration, and agility at 88 and 89. Very good. And his shot is all at 89. I hate Ryan Kessler. I'm a Sharks fan, so obviously this is a very, very good forward card, guys, and someone that you're probably going to use for quite some time. I know his speed is only at 89, and I know if you're putting this much investment in, you're wondering how long you can use this card before he gets replaced, because, again, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to use these cards and upgrade them, but I'd be almost willing to bet that you trade in these 90 team builder cards at some point and get an improvement. So you've got to keep that in mind. What is the longevity of these? With quick draw, no matter what, he is going to be a useful centerman. The one thing I'll say is I'm not very good with right-handed centermen, so keep that in mind. But this is probably the pick for the Pacific Division. However, this will be mine, as the 90 Vinny Danfus. I have been asking the devs for a while to put a Sharks Vinny Danfus in the game. He was on the team that I became a fan of back in 2003, and early on, one of my favorite players. I remember watching him with Montreal as well while growing up. 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 89 agility, all above 90 in the shooting department. Defensive awareness is phenomenal. He's got Applesauce and Protector. I actually really like Applesauce for forwards. Again, I'm big on hand-eye and the ability to tip the puck. And he's got 95 passing, and you can activate his superstar ability to get tape to tape for 3 points. Not huge on Make It Snappy because at 10 total points, I'd much rather have Wheels activated on someone like Connor McDavid or Braden Point. However, this is probably the one I'm taking. I think Ryan Kessler has more longevity, but this Vinny Danfus card is also extremely good. So I'm happy with him, and this is going to be my pick for the Pacific Division. Moving on to the Atlantic Division, we've got the 85 at PJ Axelson from the Bruins with Light the Lamp. This isn't really going to be useful, in my opinion, just because he's got 77 endurance, 85 speed and acceleration, so his skating's not strong. He's got 79 deking. His shot is okay, so this one wouldn't make my team, in my opinion, if you're building out the Atlantic Division cards. From the Buffalo Sabres, we got the 85 Jason Pominville. This is probably one of the strongest 85 team builder cards. He's got Gladiator, which I'm not huge on. Just I think that there's more important ones to activate with Elite Edges as his superstar ability, which you could activate. 88 speed, acceleration, agility 87, and a mid to high 80 shot. This is probably the best one or one of them in terms of the 85. So while you're making the Atlantic Division, maybe try and start with Buffalo because he's definitely useful early on in the game. For the Detroit Red Wings, we've got the 85 Martin Lapointe with Light the Lamp and Thunderclap on the wing. 86 speed, acceleration, agility, up at 87, 86, and then 71 endurance, which basically makes him almost unusable. He is going to run out of his energy so fast that I really don't... It's super annoying sometimes that they overlook the endurance ability, but that is just so low that even if he's got great skating, he's going to run out of it on basically one lap down the ice. So, in my opinion, not one that I'd be using at all. From the Florida Panthers, we've got the 85 Scott Mellanby with the Protector, Synergy, and Unstoppable Force. Mediocre skating, 85, 85, and 84 for speed, acceleration, agility. Slapshot's not bad, right in the mid to high 80s as well. Just a well-rounded card. You could get away no problem with using this early on for sure. For the Montreal Canadiens, we've got the 85 Matthew Schneiderman. I remember watching him growing up for sure. On defense with Gladiator and then Heat Seeker. I like Heat Seeker from the point, especially if you're someone that is trying to get tip shots on. I think that Heat Seeker is a nice superstar or zone ability for defensemen. 86 speed, agility, and acceleration. Endurance down at 74. His shot is all around 86. I mean, if endurance is important for forwards, it's even more important for defensemen because they are out on the ice much more. Just on a balanced team, it's just, yeah, this one's tough. I wouldn't use him. It's just a shame that his endurance is so low. From the Ottawa Senators, we've got the 6'3" Chris Phillips with Magician and Born Leader. At 6'3", he's got great size, but again, his skating is just not going to be useful for you for very long. However, if you are someone that can pair him with someone like Cale Makar, someone that has high speed, giant defensemen are very useful in their own zone. He's got 90 body checking, and his slapshot power at 87 is not terrible. He's got good defensive awareness and stick checking. This is all going to depend on if you're someone that can use slower defensemen and defend the rush correctly. If you're someone that gives up a lot of 2-on-1s or breakaways, not the card for you for sure. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've got the 85 Ruslan Fedotenko with Applesauce and Close Quarters. Wouldn't activate Close Quarters, too much of an ability point cost there. 85 speed, acceleration down at 84, and agility 82, endurance at 76. Shots mediocre, even with Applesauce activated. Again, just kind of an underwhelming card at 85. A lot of his high stats are just not ones that I'd prioritize a lot. And then from the Toronto Maple Leafs, we've got the 85 Brian McCabe with Magician and 1T. I do like 1T, especially for defensemen. And when you consider he's got 90 slap shot power, that's super nice. His speed is right in that, like, I don't want it any lower, in my opinion, especially if he doesn't have a skating synergy. 84 speed, 84 acceleration, and then 86 agility with Magician activated. He is going to be very stiff, 78 deking, 83 agility, so you are not going to be able to skate far with him, but that's okay. I mean, he's, again, a great card in the offensive zone for one-timers, so if you were someone that likes to take one-timers, and in his own zone, at 6'2", 86 body checking, that's fine as well. Not a bad card and someone that could be on your team for sure, just in the state of defenseman. Early on, it's very tough to find good defensemen, so this could definitely be a useful card for you. All right, now taking a look at the 90 overall choice pack for the Atlantic Division. We'll start first with the 90 Chris Draper 5'10" with Buzzing. You can also choose Heart and Soul. Has Quick Draw, obviously going to be useful, and Big Tipper as his own ability. These are actually the best combination of abilities for centerman, in my opinion, because again, the big tipper ability is really useful on centerman because they're the ones that'll be in the middle in the slot while you're working it around at the points. Speed's up at 90 with buzzing, 89 acceleration, and 94 agility, so he is going to be able to make those cuts really nicely. I love this card. I think that the only downfall is that he's 5'10", but his body checking is up at 87, so that's not awful. I really like this card. His shot is a little, meh, but for a 90 overall, but I like his abilities and I like his skating, and I think this is a really good card. Rick Vive is your next choice at 90 overall with the Spark synergy that adds acceleration, body checking, and deking. All alone is not one you're going to want to activate at all, and Snipe I'm not huge with either. I think it's just super situational, and especially at 10 ability points. Speed's 89, acceleration 90. Well, acceleration is 89, as well as agility. Shot is above 90 on the power, 89 accuracy. Again, a well-rounded card. You can play him at center. Again, face-off rating not super important, and I will explain why in a video later on. I've been saying that throughout some of these videos, but the face-off rating, I'll talk about it a little bit later on. Good body checking. All around a nice card. I'd probably have Draper, though, just because of the options you have with the abilities. And then you've got the 90 overall Mike Peca with Thief and Applesauce. I love Thief. However, he's not really going to benefit a huge amount from it because he's already got God-tier defensive abilities. So he's got Crease Crasher, wouldn't activate. Shutdown for 1 ability point, I would. I like the ability to poke check, off the rush and things like that. I think that is useful, especially for 1 ability point. Speed's all above 90. Already, that's great. That checks a lot of boxes. Slapshot power at 90. Accuracy's at 86. Body checking at 92. And then, like I said, defensively, defensive awareness and stick checking, 2 very, very important stats, are already basically maxed out. But you could throw Thief on him. And again, I think that you should have that activated. So if that just comes with him, that makes him a little bit better. He has Applesauce as well, which I do enjoy. That's another good one, especially for centerman. This would be my pick, not to mention I love Mike Peca growing up as a kid. So my pick for the Atlantic Division would be Mike Peca. All right, on to the Metro Division. We've got the 85 Aaron Ward on defense, 6'2", with Magician and Shutdown. Again, for 1 ability point, I think that you should activate Shutdown if they have the superstar ability. Speed is really rough. Well, again, the lowest you want to go at 83, 84, and 84, especially with Magician. His agility's down even lower. This isn't a card that you're going to want to put in your lineup. Just too much of a liability on skating off the rush and defending, so careful with this one. From the New Jersey Devils, we've got the 85 Bryce Salvador with Applesauce on him. 6'3". He's got the bouncer ability as well. Not terrible, but probably not one I would look to activate. 84 speed and acceleration, 85 agility. Good balance at 92, and then slapshot power at 91. However, he's going to miss every single shot almost with that 79 accuracy. Deking's at 74 as well. Body checking 89, this is a good big defenseman. Like, you could use him again, same kind of thing as like I mentioned with Chris Phillips. If you are someone who doesn't give up a lot of 2-on-1s, you know how to defend the rush very well with slower defensemen, he's going to be able to defend that blue line very effectively and get the puck back in his own zone. So definitely a usable card for a certain player base. For the New York Islanders, we've got the 85 Pierre Turgeon with Heart and Soul, and make it snappy as a superstar ability. 86 speed, acceleration, and agility across the board. Shooting in the mid to high 80s. Definitely a card that you could use early on in the game. Someone that I wouldn't mind. Again, a lot of these 85s aren't going to make your team over some of the X factors and other cards that are out there. So keep that in mind. However, they do have use because you need to turn them into the 90s. Not a bad card. You could definitely use him and not feel at a disadvantage. The New York Rangers is 6'1", 85 overall, Dan Girardi with Bombarded and Ice Pack. We've got speed at 85, 85, and 86 for speed, acceleration, and agility. Good balance. Shooting is nice if you have 90 power, 78 accuracy. If you don't have Bombarded on it, he's, again, very, very tough to hit the net. However, accuracy is not as important from defensemen as power is, so just keep that in mind. 6'1's got good body checking. This is definitely a useful card, especially with the state of defenseman early on in the game. You could definitely use him in your lineup. For the Philadelphia Flyers, we've got Dave Schultz with Spark and Truculence. 84 speed, 83 acceleration, and 85 agility. Shot is in the low to high 80s. The accuracy's down to 82. Power's at 88. Again, for wingers, you want to flip it for defensemen. You want to have higher accuracy than you do power. Body checking is good, 6'1". This is an okay winger. I like to have, on the wing, you want to prioritize speed, in my opinion. Centerman, you can have a little bit slower because you're not breaking the puck out with them on a rush right down the board. So probably not one that I would put on my team. Tyler Kennedy for the Pittsburgh Penguins, ex-Shark GOAT. 87 speed, acceleration, and agility at 88. Mid 80s shooting at 83 and 86 for accuracy and power. Body checking is okay. Very well-rounded card. I mean, his synergies and his superstar abilities are not really going to be ones you want to activate, but this is definitely a winger card that you could use on your team, especially right-handed ones. Righties are a little bit more difficult to acquire than lefties, so but this is definitely a useful card while you're building up your team builder cards. From the Washington Capitals, we've got Michael Pivonka with Fly the Zone and Third Eye. Really good card. At 88 speed with Fly the Zone activated, acceleration and agility at 86. His shooting is a little rough, I will give you that. But with Fly the Zone activated, face-off rating up at 93. While I mentioned that it isn't super important, having high face-off rating is not a bad thing at all, especially for centerman, obviously. Body checking at 81, which is kind of low, but he is 6'2", which kind of negates the fact doesn't need to have his high body checking. Deking is at 90, which is great. Passing puck control at 91. This is a very well-rounded card. Honestly, one of the better ones like Jason Pominville while doing these 85 team builder sets. Then we've got the 85, Brandon Dubinsky from the Columbus Blue Jackets with the well-rounded synergy as well as Crease Crasher. Not huge on well-rounded. However, I think he probably needs it activated. His speed is okay at 85, acceleration 85, agility 89. His shot is actually even better at mid to high 80s for these cards. However, there is some really important stats that are absolutely abysmal. So defensive awareness down at 75 on a centerman is not something that you want. Again, defensive awareness, if you haven't watched my video on attributes and explaining what they do, defensive awareness will intercept or is what dictates your ability to intercept the puck. So centerman is obviously one of the most important defensive positions. They defend the slot. 75, not going to do it. He has got great body checking at 93, but he's 6'2", so he doesn't really need it. And then offensive awareness as well at 75. Offensive awareness helps dictate holding onto the puck out of dekes, picking up loose pucks, the ability to handle passes a little bit cleaner. Like, it's a very weird build. I feel like that defensive awareness is going to kill this card, though, but you can try him out. All right, on to the 90 overall cards that you can choose from. First, we've got the 90 Ray Whitney, 5'10", 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 92 agility. He's got the Workhorse synergy. You can also put Gladiator on him. I'd probably put Workhorse. I think it's a really good synergy. He's got Puck on a String, wouldn't activate. Tape to Tape, I like more as a superstar ability because I think 6 is a little much because he's already got 92 passing, which is good. His shot's all above 90. Defensive awareness is great at 94. Stick checking 92. This is a really, really good card all the way around. Then we've got the 90 overall John LeClair with Booming Shot and Magician. This is probably one of the worst ones, and while I don't think he's going to be a bad card, again, you have to think about the longevity of these because you're probably not going to be able to upgrade these for a very long time. So you've got to make sure that when you're putting the immense cost of these, you've got to make sure you're getting a really useful card for a while. The speed at 87, acceleration at 86, and agility 88 is tough. His shot is okay, but compared to the other ones, it's just fine. And then he's got 95 body checking, but he's already 6'3". Defensively, he's good as well, but he's a winger, not a centerman. He's got a centerman build, having to play the wing. So again, keep that in mind. This would not be one that I would choose out of the Metro. One I would choose, in my opinion, would be the 90 Ulf Samuelsson from the Penguins. Also, amazing card art there. He's got Wingman and Magician. Probably want to activate Wingman on him. He's got Bouncer and Truculence. I don't mind. I think Truculence on defenseman is very, very good. Speed at 89, acceleration at 89, agility 91, and then his slap shot at 92 power, 87 accuracy. Like I mentioned earlier, defensemen that are good skaters with high shooting stats, very rare early on and very, very valuable because there's just not a lot. So your ability to rip one-timers and things like that through the roof with this Ulf Samuelsson. Body checking at 93, defensive awareness and stick checking at 94. This would 100% be my choice from the Metro Division. All right, guys, on to the last division, the Central. We've got the 85 Zbigniew Mahalik with Magician and Ice Pack, 85 speed, 87 acceleration, 88 agility on the back end with 87 power and 80 accuracy. Defensive awareness at 89, which is good. Honestly, this is definitely a useful card while you're building up the Team Builder one. So, again, this would be definitely someone that I could throw on my team right off the rip. From the Colorado Avalanche, we've got the 90 Dan Highnout with Protector and Truculence. 84 speed, acceleration, and agility on the wing with an 89 power and 82 accuracy, deking at 79. More of a defensive card, probably not one that I would target to put on my team. Just 79 endurance. I think there's a lot of better, current NHLers that you would use on your squad. From the Dallas Stars, we've got the 85 Jason Arnott, 6'5", always a really good HUT card with wingman and unstoppable force, 83 speed, 81 acceleration, 82 agility, mid to high 80 shooting. It's his ability to, again, for the type of player, if you are someone, again, you will, for players that dominate time on attack, these are the cards that you want to use. You don't want to have a full team of them, but at center, especially, you can get away with having a bit slower players, and it's 6'5" in the defensive zone. He is going to just be an absolute force, and if you get wingman activated, that helps his slow acceleration. Just a really well-rounded card for the type of player that would make him effective. If you are, again, someone who scores off the rush mostly, you're breaking out of the zone by just straight lining or going crisscross down the ice, not really going to be one you want to target, but this is definitely a useful card for someone like me who controls a lot of time on attack. From the Minnesota Wild, we've got the 85 Nick Schultz, 6'1" with bombarded and elite edges. Great skating for, again, early on in the game for defensemen. 87 speed, 86 acceleration, 87 agility. Bombarded, his slap shot accuracy is an absolute mess, but, again, it's not as important as power. You could get away with using this card for sure early on. He's probably going to be replaced pretty quickly because of that slap shot accuracy. You're probably going to get annoyed with that, but definitely a well-rounded card on the back end. We've got the 85 Colin Wilson, well-rounded and close quarters from the Nashville Predators. 87 speed, acceleration, agility, 86, and mid to high 80s shooting. This is definitely a card that you could use in your lineup while you're building these sets. At 6'1", he's got good size. Defensive awareness is really low, but again, he's a winger, so that's not as important. Just a really balanced card early on in the game. From the Chicago Blackhawks, we've got the 85 Nicholas Hjalmarsson, one of the best defenseman cards probably that you can get from the Team Builder sets. Applesauce is his synergy with Shutdown. Again, I think this is a nice ability specifically for defensemen. And then 85 speed, 85 acceleration, 86 agility, slapshot power at 88. Again, the accuracy is pretty low, but again, on defensemen, not as important. He's got good stick checking if you activate Applesauce. Even if you don't, it's at 90. This is, again, a really, really good defenseman just because his ability, his skating is mediocre but average, and his 6'3" is a huge advantage when trying to defend the zone. So someone that I could definitely use while trying to finish these Team Builder sets. From the St. Louis Blues, we've got the 85 David Backes with Workhorse, 6'3", and Big Tipper, which, again, I love on centerman. And only 3 ability points to activate for the Superstar ability. Speed at 84. If you get Workhorse activated, his acceleration's up at 85. Agility's 82, which is a little rough. I like to have my forwards the ability to backskate and make those cuts. Slapshot power's at 90. Accuracy's at 82, however. This is a good centerman card, for sure. The only thing I don't like is his defensive awareness at 83. That's probably the lowest I would want to go, but at 6'3", you could definitely do some damage knocking people off the puck in his own zone. I think, again, for those players that control time on attack, this is going to be a nice card. And for anyone that likes to try to take advantage of the tipping shots from the point, for sure. And from the Winnipeg Jets, we've got the 85 Brian Little with the Thief synergy and Send It as his Superstar ability. Great skater. This is probably the best overall team builder. 87 speed, acceleration at 87, and agility is 92, but his shot is 85 accuracy, 92 on the power, 89 body checking. You need Thief activated. Defensive awareness and stick checking are really low, especially if you're going to play him at center. Yeah, this is a really nice card. Probably the one I'm going to target the most. Possibly. It's up there. This is a very, very good card. And the 90 overall Team Builder sets, we've got the 90 Rick Tocchet with Distributor as his synergy. He can also choose Workhorse, gets his speed up to 89, acceleration 87, and agility 89. Shots, 87 accuracy, 90 power. Defensively is where he's really useful. Stick checking and defensive awareness at 95 and 93. Body checking 92. A very, very good defensive card, but again, I think that when you're getting a 90 overall player that you're gonna have to put on your team for a while because of the cost investment, probably not the one I would pick. From the Dallas Stars, we've got the 90 Jamie Langenbrunner with Wingman and Spark as his option, so helping out that acceleration. Born Leader and Close Quarters, again, probably not anything I'm going to activate. Born Leader at one point is actually kind of nice. Anytime you score with him, all of your players get a large energy boost. Speed's at 90, acceleration 92 with wingman activated, and agility at 92. Shot is in the high 80s, low 90s, and then everything else is around the high 80s as well. Stick check and defensive awareness is good at 93 and 95. This is a very, very good, well-rounded card for sure. Someone you're not going to be disappointed with. However, the easy choice for me, and this is probably one of the best team builder cards overall, 6'2", right-handed defenseman Adam Foote with Light the Lamp and Bombarded. If you get Bombarded on this card, you're going to make his slap shot almost perfect on the power, and early on in the game, that is so big. So 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 91 agility. He's got 91 balance and 93 endurance. The shot is at 83 accuracy, 95 power, and he's an absolute force defensively with defensive awareness and stick checking at 95. And body check 90. If you guys are working towards a team builder specifically and not just overall, this is the one that you should go after for sure early on. Now, for everyone that has stayed all the way through this video, I respect it. It has been very long. I'm going to give you guys my tips on what to do and how to acquire these cards. So anytime that you open up an NHL player from a pack, you want to put them on your team. However, acquiring these cards, I think, is going to be something that you want to pay attention to. So if you go to the auction house, all right, do not buy any of the gold player not in the NHL, okay? So what you want to do is go to League, go to NHL, all right, and then choose gold, and then go to buy now price range and set it to 1,000, okay? Now, this is probably going to jump up when the launch of the game because there's just four markets, and everyone is going to be trying to get these cards. So right now, there isn't any up. Whenever you see any that are 1,000 or under for buy now, you want to make sure that you get. If we go up and approve it a little bit higher, see if there's any available, there just isn't, right? So you got to be careful. Again, this is during the EA Play, so there's just not going to be many available. You want to make sure that you scoop up because that is definitely a value for you because getting these cards is going to be phenomenal for your team. All right, guys, so I hope this helps. Again, this is a very long video. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I have daily NHL videos, and check me out on stream. I go live in the morning every single day, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. Link is down below. And join the Discord if you have any questions regarding your team or things that you want to help with in HUT. Join the Discord. Link for that also down below. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.